Mordu's Legion Command. The origin of Mordu's Legion lies in the Galenti-Caldari War when a group of Intaki military personnel sided with the Caldari. The Intakis were put into a separate unit with a Caldari officer named Mordu. After the war the Intakis settled in Caldari space, but unwillingly became entangled with Caldari locals in the Waschi uprising. Mordu's Legion was formed at that time as a mercenary fighting force, and after the uprising it continued its existence. The Legion is loosely associated with the Caldari Navy, but is for the most part totally independent. Mordu's Legion is commonly hired by companies to protect valuable assets outside Empire space, for instance Outer Ring Excavations pays them handsomely to patrol the Outer Ring region. Mordu's Legion. Formed in the wake of the Waschi uprising several decades ago, Mordu's Legion is one of the largest and most successful mercenary organizations in New Eden. The Legion can trace its roots back to the days of the Caldari-Galenti War, when a group of Intaki who sympathized with the Caldari cause was exiled from the Federation at the start of the war. The most militant of these Intaki defected to the Caldari and requested to join in the fight against the Federation. Given that the majority were experienced military personnel, and therefore of immense value to the vastly outnumbered Caldari, they were placed into a separate squadron headed by a brilliant young Caldari officer named Mordu. By the time the war came to an end, this squadron, made up entirely of Intaki servicemen and women, had become a unit so celebrated within the Caldari Navy that their achievements fell squarely into the realm of modern legend. At the end of the war, the Intaki personnel who served were offered land and accommodation in Waschi City on Kamokar 4, an arrangement that eventually resulted in tension between the new settlers and the indigenous locals. After a number of attacks on Washi's Intaki population, Mordu's force was reformed to defend the Intaki against the attacking Caldari radicals. This time, however, they flew under their own banner, calling themselves Mordu's Legion. Under the skillful command of Mordu himself, the Legion decimated the attacking force and kept the Intaki homes secure. Surprised and impressed by the skill and determination of the Legion, which consisted mostly of grizzled veterans but also eager young hotheads drawn by its cachet, the Caldari authorities offered to merge the squadron into the Caldari Navy, but this offer was declined by Mordu in favor of exploring the mercenary potential of the organization. Today Mordu's Legion, still headed up by Mordu himself, has grown to become the largest mercenary contractor in the cluster and still maintains close ties to the Caldari state. Initially the Legion would only accept citizens of the Caldari state, but in the last 3 decades it has opened its doors to those of any creed and race, providing they are not regarded as criminals within the state. Mordu's Legion does not train its members. They expect all applicants to be seasoned combat veterans with demonstrable skill and knowledge of military tactics. In return, the Legion provides access to high-tech military equipment, most of which comes from the Caldari Navy, and a virtually endless supply of contract-based employment. Given its status as the premier mercenary organization in the cluster, Mordu's Legion is often employed by governments across New Eden to settle issues that do not fall directly under a particular jurisdiction, particularly in cases where rapid deployment and swift resolution are required. The most recent example of this came after the Federation's assault on Caldari Prime in March YC-115, when Mordu's Legion was drafted to provide security for the entire planet after it was declared a demilitarized zone at the cessation of hostilities. Mordu's Legion Command remains to this day the most reliable and professional mercenary organization in the cluster, having since their formation maintained an untarnished reputation as fierce warriors, solid tacticians, and honorable business partners. Corporations. Mordu's Legion. Mordu's Legion is a mercenary corporation that operates outside Caldari and Galenti space, hired by respectable companies such as ORE to protect their operation. Originally the members of the Legion were mostly Intakis and Kaldari, but lately they've started accepting members from most races.